Hey guys, it's Melanie, and I wanted to do a tag video for you guys today that I'm kind of nervous and kind of excited to do. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys. As you've noticed from the title below, this is the controversial parenting tag. I have not watched anyone's video on this. I literally just looked up the questions, and so now I'm going to answer these questions for you. Now, the one thing I will say is that this video and these topics are exactly what it says, controversial. So please, let's all be respectful. If you have views that differ from mine, that's perfectly fine. I think that the world is a better place because we're all different. But if you'll respect me, then I'll respect you. And let's be honest, even if you don't respect me, I'll probably still respect you because I respect the fact that you are allowed to be different. But let's just keep it nice in the comments, because anyone who's not nice, you gotta go. So let's go ahead and get started. The topics are pro-life versus pro-choice. I am pro-life. I was raised in a Southern Baptist home, and so I was taught from a very early age that abortion is wrong. And I did go through a period in my college days, and then shortly after that maybe I would have, my views changed a little bit. I was not as strong in my faith. I don't know. I wavered in that area, but when it comes right down to it, at this stage of my life and forever from this point, I am strongly pro-life. So that's my stance on that. Baby wearing. I absolutely love baby wearing. I love seeing pictures of their mamas wearing their babies. I think it's so amazing and it's so awesome. But I will say, I knew nothing about baby wearing when I had my first three. Absolutely nothing. With Kyler, I had a Moby wrap, and I got on YouTube and I learned how to use it. In fact, some of you that I subscribe to, that's how I found your channel. And yeah, I wore her. If I can remember, I'll insert a picture here of me wearing her one day. I think I was cleaning the kitchen or doing something. And yeah, it was amazing. I loved wearing her. I will say that I didn't do it for nearly as long as I would have liked, simply because for some reason it hurt my back. And I know that that's probably because I wasn't doing it right or something. But yeah, I love baby wearing, and I swear if I were ever going to have another baby, I would wear that baby all the time because I think it's amazing. So, circumcision. Okay, so hopefully my son won't hate me for sharing this information, but my son is circumcised. We did not do it for any type of religious reasons, because obviously that doesn't really pertain to us anymore, but we did it for cosmetic purposes only, and maybe hygienic purposes, although I don't really know that it's unhygienic to have an uncircumcised. I don't really know. So really and truthfully, when you go to the hospital nowadays and you're going to have a son, they tell you your options are circumcised or not. And the biggest reason why parents choose circumcision these days is really just so that son will match daddy and won't look different. And so, I mean, we did it just because I didn't want my son to be different and to think that he was different or there was something wrong with him. So that's why we did it. But I guess technically I'm Switzerland. I'm not pro either way. I'll just say that that's the route that we went. So adoption. I am very pro adoption, obviously. I told my husband actually just this last Sunday that if I somehow could figure out where to fit another child in our house, I would probably be open to the idea of adoption. I mean, I have 4 at this point. What's a couple more? So he thinks that I'm crazy. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely would consider adoption if I thought that it was something that our family could realistically do. And I will tell you that this past Sunday at our church, one of our pastors gave the message, and it was actually about adoption. And I kind of have a feeling that maybe a seed was planted within my heart during that service. I don't feel like strongly led right now to try to adopt, but I don't know. I mean, before I probably was a little more closed off to the idea. and said, you know, that's not really for us. We're good. We've got 4. We don't. But at this point, you know, I feel like we've got enough love for the 4 that we have now, and there are so many children out there who don't have anyone to love them that, you know, maybe it is something we should think about. So, like I said, I think a seed has been planted and we'll see what happens to it. But yes, I am all for adoption, all around, definitely all around. Baby piercing. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this means like piercing ears like if you have a baby girl. I don't really have a preference. Like, as far as for me, I am not going to pierce Kyler's ears because I want to let her make that decision when she's older, because I actually do know adult women who have stronger religious convictions, and they wish that their parents had not pierced their ears when they were babies. So I really want to wait and let it be her decision. But I had my mom pierced my ears when I was a baby, and I don't hate her for it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I've had piercings since then. So I would honestly say that for me, I'm not going to pierce Kyler's ears when she's a baby. But you know, if someone else chooses to do so, okay, I think it's actually really cute on babies. I think it's really pretty. So I don't really know that that's a great answer, but that's my honest opinion of where I stand. Okay, so breast milk versus formula. I am very pro breast milk. I am very, very pro breastfeeding. I think that every mom has the ability to do so. I know that some moms struggle with it, and there are medical reasons why some moms can't finish, or, you know, can't breastfeed. But I think that every mom should at least try, you know, because it is what's best for your baby. And I nursed Kyler for 14 months, and the only reason that we stopped at that point was because she stopped at that point. She basically was just ready to, she weaned herself. I would have continued breastfeeding her up until she was 2, which she will be next month, but she chose to stop. My others, I did breastfeed all 3 of the others. I did not breastfeed them as long, for different reasons, and I actually did a video about that a long time ago that I will have linked below for you guys. But yeah, I'm definitely pro breastfeeding. Okay, so this one is spanking. Oh goodness. This is probably one of the most controversial ones on here in my opinion. I will just say, we do spank our kids. We have spanked the older ones. Obviously, we don't spank them anymore. It's not something that we don't beat our kids. There's a process behind the whole spanking and the way that we do it and the way it's approached and the way it's handled and so forth and so on. And if you guys want a more in-depth explanation of my thought process behind that, let me know and I'll go into it. But if I were to tell you all of that right now, this video would go over my time limit. And so I'll just say, yes, I am pro spanking and leave it at that. Co-sleeping. This one is another one that I don't really know that I have a position on. I never like officially co-slept with any of my kids as far as like on a long-term basis. When they were really, really little and we were all just like sleep deprived, and you know, they would come and they would sleep on my chest when I was asleep with, you know, but there was never any like official co-sleeping happening. And I don't necessarily think that it's because I didn't want to. It's just because I didn't really know that that's something that people did. You know, I don't know. Would I do it in the future if we had another one? Maybe, maybe not. I'm really not sure. I think that co-sleeping is great for some families, but for some families, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. So I don't have a position on co-sleeping apparently. Okay, so this one is home versus public versus private versus charter school. Oh, the topic of schooling is definitely controversial. Wow. We are a homeschool family, so obviously I am pro homeschool. There have been many times that I've said that if our public school options in our area were better, maybe we would consider public school. Private school is not something that we can afford. And charter school, I don't know enough about charter schools to really answer. But I will just say, for all intents and purposes, we are a pro-homeschool family. We're not necessarily anti-public school, but we are a homeschooling family. So I guess that answers that one. Okay, vaccinations. I have vaccinated all of my kids. I know that there are a lot of parents who think that that's the wrong thing to do, but I don't really want my kids getting some horrible, incurable disease. So I have vaccinated my kids. If you choose not to vaccinate yours, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm not going to say you're crazy or anything like that, but I'm pro-vaccinations, I guess. Medicating children. I am not very pro-medication, period. Even for myself, I don't take a whole lot of medications. I try to go as much of a natural route as I can, including using essential oils or just toughing it out and suffering through if you have a cold. We use a lot of essential oils in our home, and you know, we do use medication. If my child has 104 fever, I'm definitely giving my child some Tylenol or some Motrin, whatever needs to be given to them. So while I'm not against medicating children, we don't use a whole lot of medicines in our house, just because I don't want any of us to get hooked on them. You know, I don't want any of us to feel like we have to, oh, you know, I've got a headache today, I need some medicine. Today I do have a headache, but I haven't taken anything for it, just because we don't do a whole lot of medicines. So cloth diaper versus disposable diaper. I am definitely on the side of cloth diapering. Unfortunately, with Kyler, I tried to cloth diaper her for like 6 months, and she had a ridiculously sensitive tush. I mean, even still now, she is so sensitive. And I tried making changes to my diet, and that really didn't seem to change anything. And so we ended up having to go back to disposable diapers with her. I wish that we had been able to cloth diaper her, you know, the whole time. She's still in diapers. I mean, pretty soon she'll probably be potty training, but yeah, I'm definitely cloth diaper if I can be. Disposable diaper was not the choice that I wanted, but it's the choice we ended up having to make. And so, yeah, that's how I feel about that. And last but not least, the cry it out method. The cry it out method. I know a lot of parents who say that letting your kids cry it out is basically, you know, torture, it's punishment, it's abuse, I've heard all kinds of things. But I personally know that it works. So when we decided to let Kyler cry it out and finally get past her sleeping issues, she was about 8 months old. The first night that we let her cry, she cried for 45 minutes, and that was really hard for me. But I literally sat outside her room in the hall and listened to make sure that she was okay. She finally went to sleep. The second night, she cried for 20 minutes. The third night, she cried for 7 minutes, and the fourth night, she went right to sleep. It literally took that long to get her to knock it off and just go to sleep. So I guess technically I am in favor of the cry it out method. I think that it should be done responsibly, and you know, you need to make sure that your child is safe, obviously. We tried letting her cry it out at 4 months, but at that point she was too young, and she would scream so hard and for so long that she would make herself throw up. And that terrified me. And so for the next 4 months, I didn't even consider letting her cry it out. I waited until she was 8 months old, and I knew that she could actually stand up in her bed, so that I knew that she would be safe. And then like I said, sat outside her room the entire time. So I am, I guess, in favor of the cry it out method. You know, if you feel like it doesn't work for your family, then that's fine. Every family is different, and every family has to make the decisions that they feel is best for them. Whoa, that was a fun tag. It was hopefully not one that will really alienate anyone from me, but I'm being honest with you guys. That's always my goal, is to be transparent and share with you who I really am. So yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure that you check out the other channels that I'm going to have listed below to see who else I have tagged. And if you are someone who makes YouTube videos, I challenge you to do this video, and if you do, tag me so that I can go over and watch your video. I'll be back very soon, guys. I hope you're having a very blessed day. Bye now.